Hello. Are you here? Can you hear me? Oh wow, this is very awkward. I've never done a show. I'm going. Let me check on my end to see if we're live because I've been so worried about getting this live that I don't remember if we're live. If that makes sense. Um, let's see. All right. Well, I'll probably ought to play this without using headphones. Yeah, we're live. We're a little bit low, but we're live. Yeah. 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 I hear us live, so there you go. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I know. We were for a while for a little hiatus. You know what I mean? So and then case of the Mondays. Is that what? Nowadays you do. I mean, I guess back in the day you probably wouldn't. You know, you still say it. Case of the Mondays. That's like the TGIF thing. When you told people TGIF and you know yeah, now you do that and you get shot, I think. Do the Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty Hump. Yeah, I remember that, man. I used to have parachute pants with that. Yeah, that was a jam right there, man. You know, you remember the pants, the parachute ones where you had the Velcro, where you folded it over to have the crease. You know, you never. That's like MC Hammer. That's what he did. Yeah, yeah, man. That was the shiz niz right there, man. It would wrap around your ankles and Velcro, and then you have your high top shoes, and you know, man, like Converse or something like that back in the day. You know, I did you ever have those pump ones? You know, yeah, yeah. I remember having a pair of those pump shoes. Yeah, I try to, you know, no. Well, if I ever played basketball, if I can remember, I was sort of the guy at the very end that, yeah, and I was proud about that because my fat ass wasn't going to run up and down the court. Yeah, but let a I played football for 4 years, so yeah. Start off as a freshman, for junior varsity, and uh, went up to varsity when I went to 10th grade, I think, and then played varsity all the way up to my senior year. So it was not really. I mean, I wasn't like oh hoorah football. Let me just that's what I'm gonna eat, breathe, drink, sleep. Football. It was more of like you know yeah, it was more of like all right, it's cool. It's a physical thing. It's gonna keep me in shape, which it did. You know, back in the day, I was humping a lot of weight. So yeah, 'cause man, you have to remember I was playing lineman, so most of my time, I played what was it, kickoff return, kickoff lineman. Uh, I can't remember. That wasn't defensive end, but it was right in the middle of the defense. I played a little bit of that. Tight end, yeah. And so I would be lifting with my legs, around like 600, doing like 4 or 5 reps, and that's working your way up to it. On the bench, I think I maxed at the time was like 4. You know what I mean? So, uh, like 400 pounds. Yeah, but I'm not sitting there doing like 30 reps of 400 pounds. You're doing like either 5 or 10 reps at the most. You know what I mean? You're strong. I've seen some of those guys, man. They'll be pushing like 300 pounds and doing like at least eight reps. You know, yeah. I don't know what they're feeding them, but you know, they're feeding them something. Yeah, they're getting all their vitamins and minerals and all kinds of stuff. But I mean, it was certain parts of it I remember because it was what 20 something years ago. You know, um, that'd be what 24 years ago almost. I think if my math is right. Yeah, 24. Right? Yeah, 24 years ago. To when I started playing football. Yeah, because it was back in 95, I think. I don't know. When I was, dude, I just turned 41, homie. Come on, I'm not that old. Yeah, I'm playing football, man. We did one thing where the coach had the guy come in the middle of the circle, right? And then two, you know how sort of like you line up in a big giant circle, and then he would go, all right, you, and then he'd go right across from you go, and they both hit you at the same time, yeah. And now they do that 4 or 5 times, because then you'd have to turn, and then they do the same thing, and you have to turn, you do the same thing, you know. Yeah, I was here at Florida High School. Armwood. That's fine. Why? Yeah. No, that's fine. I mean, it happens, But arm, you were Gaither. Yeah. I mean, I can't remember, all the games we played. I mean, no, I can't. I couldn't see. I could actually see you as a like offensive lineman, or like a left guard, because I played right guard. Um, I tried doing the center deal. Oh no, that's a little bit. I mean, no offense, and by God, I have no offense to the LBGT community, but I I I don't care for you know, but because you got to get really close, like we're talking you got to wrist to cojones, you know what I mean, and it yeah, and it feels really weird and because and it's not weird because of like ew, like it's no, it's weird because it's awkward. You don't expect to be. I mean, you expect the quarterback to be there, but not that close. You know, no. I mean, I mean, that's. I know. I mean, if people want to do that, that's cool. No big deal. But I tried it one game and I was like, no, this is not for me. Yeah, this is not for me. You know, so that was the end of the me playing center. You know, because they do little. What's that? well they do like little signals, of how like they want the ball to be hiked. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to place the ball to where you think it is, and then they'll tap you. Sometimes it depends on who the person is, but they'll the guy that was a quarterback at the time, he'd like tap you on your calf, like one, just to kind of get the ball, you know where he wants it so that way he can get ready to fire. You know what I mean? So different strategies or different things, kind of like how baseball when they do like those hand signals, from the yeah, and that's what kind of the same thing. They'll sit there and like tap the calf and kind of so the center can like know, okay, let me turn the ball this way, turn the ball. You know what I mean? So, but that's it. Just felt weird. I think the first time it happened, I kind of like stood up a little bit. I was like, oh hey, that's a little bit. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. That's the thing. It's because if you're a quarterback, you are sort of getting very close to your center, so you have to feel confident that the center is going to be, able to handle the hands of the quarterback, especially when he grabs the ball, from out of your hand. Yeah. Yeah, strong but gentle strokes. That's what you have to have, you know. Uh so I no, needless to say, I switched back to my right guard position that I played. So it was fun. It was nice. Uh, I think I had a concussion or two when I played. So then they had these little water fountains that when you go on the JV and you're like, what the routine is, like, because what's going to happen. You're going to start doing conditioning, right, and start doing laps with pads on and stuff like that. So they have this sort of PVC pipe set up on this fence. They have two of them set up, and they had holes in the pipes, and they squirts out water going up and over, and you just dunk your head and your mouth and all that stuff all in the water and stuff like that, and just to cool off. You know what I mean? And some of these like varsity guys, because they'll condition the JV guys, they'll condition with the varsity guys. They'll sit there and start hauling water into their mouths like they're camels, and just sucking it dry. And we're just sitting there looking at them, going, "Huh, you're gonna regret that, buddy." You know what I mean? And no, no, no. So, and they did. They were throwing up as they're running. You know. Oh yeah, it's oof. It's. Oh really? Yeah, I didn't know that. All. Yeah, yeah. I got you. I think. Right. I think one time I was over there and I think I dunked my whole entire body over the rail and just let the water just seep down the pads. You know what I mean? And just cool off because, you're in the summer heat, and especially over there. I don't know if you've ever been over there at Armwood or not. It's almost like moisture driven heat, and sometimes it's like a dry heat. So it's sort of like a lizard, you know, on a desert dune. You just want to just like take your whole body and just you know absorb as much water as you can. Yeah, just dunk it. Like if there was a pool, I'd probably just jump in the pool. You know, but it was fun. It was like I said, it helped me keep in the shape during high school. Um, stuff like that, and I mean, I didn't really care about doing all the social events, too much. You know what I mean? Like my mom, she wanted to buy a high school ring for me, and I'm like, well, I appreciate that. She wanted to do all this stuff, and no big deal. But I told her, I'm like, I'm not gonna wear it. You know? Huh? What do you mean? No, I'm talking to you. Oh, you wow, you just lost me on that one. No, I know who Ned is. Yes, I spoke to Ned earlier. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, uh, you there? Okay. All right. It sounded like winning and out. Um, hello. How are you? Jeez. Being that sounded like one of that kid from the Indiana Jones movie. What was it? Uh, being really. Uh-huh. Oh, really? Mocking Asians. How are you? Of course. Why not? Just add that to the factor. What about did you watch the Bucks last night? What on what? I posted something about the Bucks. Yeah. I is that the one? Is that the one about the God, what did I do about the hashtag quicksand? Yeah, yeah. It was in reference to Julie Rocks and I saw this video called "The Replacements," right? And and so wow, you actually saw a movie, huh? Yeah. Hey, look at that. So excuse me. So I'm sorry. This is just sort of got me. There was a hedgehog on its side, and some person's rubbing it. No, no, a person's rubbing his belly, and the hedgehog is going, "Oh Lord, that feels so good. Oh yeah, scratch that belly." You know. Anyways, what were we talking about now? Ice trays. Oh, quicksand. So, anyways, the replacements. Keanu Reeves, or I'm sorry, what's his name? Uh, the coach of the replacements team, the Washington Sentinels, right? Uh, excellent actor. He played on a number of different movies as well. Um, he asked the whole football team, like, "What are you most scared of?" And and everybody was giving like spiders, roaches, whatever. And Keanu Reeves, spoke up because he's the quarterback, and he said quicksand. And they said quicksand. What do you mean by quicksand? And he goes, well, quicksand. That's what happens when everything is going wrong, you know, piece by piece by piece, and you're sinking in the sand, and it just seems like you're just keep on sinking, and that's and yeah, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you try to put yourself over and pick yourself up and try to tread above the water, the sand, you're still you know sinking. You know what I mean? And I think he's a good actor. Yeah, I have no problem with him. A lot of people don't like him, but I think he's a really good actor. Um, well, yeah, of course they are. That's gonna be a staple that's gonna be alive. Okay, I have not seen those. Uh huh. Okay. Uh huh. Over a dog. Okay. Uh, what I mean, he yeah. Well, they're coming out with a new Matrix movie. You know that with Keanu. What's that? Yeah, it does. Let me see if I can pull that up. I have no problem with the Matrix movies. I thought they were actually pretty good. Um, did you really? I mean the graphics were really good. I thought. No, no, they didn't. Well, Keanu Reeves still looked the same. I think Morpheus. Right. Yeah, I don't know why that does that. I don't know why or how films do that because I've noticed that with a lot of different older films, like we're talking like circa 2005, 2006, and it looks great, in the movie theater when you watched it, but then when you see it on DVD, you can tell where the CGI and how shizzy it looks, you know, and I'm like, wow, maybe it is. I mean, but I've noticed the same thing. I thought I was the only one noticing it. So, uh, yeah. Return to a this is the Matrix Resurrections. Return to a world of two realities. One, everyday life. The other, what lies behind it. To find out if his reality is a construct. To truly know himself, Mr. Anderson will have to choose to follow the white rabbit once more. So my question is, based on that, is he back in the Matrix? Right, because he went to the architect and said, "Hey, listen, you know, right, you." and then, then it might have because he made peace with the machines, right? Now with the architect, I don't know if he made peace with him. He was sort of. Is that what I? It's been a while since I've seen him, so. Uh huh. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Uh. Neo. Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Because that's at the end of the movie, right? Yeah. Yeah. Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. Uh huh. Right. Well, I have the clip of the Matrix Resurrection. The is the trailer number 2. So let's see. Okay, so is this like Neo and what's her name? I guess in the real world right here. Oh, oh, that's right. Hold on, my bad. Right here. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. You got it. All right. Whenever you're ready. Oh, okay. You can see it. All right. So let me back up a little more here. All right, here we go. So okay, so there that was Neo. Now her right here. No, that's not Trinity. It looks like her. That looks like her. Who's that guy? So there's no Morpheus, right? Because well, yeah, but I mean like the actor. There's no. He's not playing Morpheus, I guess, because it doesn't sound like him. His name is Yaha. I can't even pronounce his name. Abdul Maxine the Second. That as Morpheus. He refused the role. Yeah. Wow. Does that change the tide for this a little bit for you? Because I hope the guy who's playing Morpheus now is going to bring out Morpheus from the first, second, and third movies. You know what I mean? The way Morpheus, what his mannerisms and all that. You know what I mean? He hasn't changed, has he? True. So it looks like a new crew. Huh? I don't see him on there. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Nope. Yeah, Jonathan Groff as Smith. That I don't know who the guy is. So I don't know. I'm so confused. I it went through so many different elements. I'm like, holy crap, what's going on with this? You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, Lena. Yeah, Lena. Let's see. I'm gonna click on her name. Lena. Oh, she looks different. Let me see. Lena Wachowski and her sister Lily Wachowski, also known as the Wachowskis, are the duo behind such groundbreaking movies as The Matrix and Cloud Atlas. She is this. Hold on. No, she's this. And her sister. So I guess she's a sister to another sister. Weird. Uh, I don't know. So she's done. She's the writer for The Matrix Resurrections, uh, The Matrix Awakens. Um, I mean, just on and on about stuff that she wrote. V for Vendetta, Cloud Atlas, uh, The Matrix Path of Neo. A lot of Matrix ones. Um, she has like 14 producer credits, 15 director credits. The Matrix Revolutions, The Matrix Awakens. I don't know what that is. Five Engine 5 experience. Oh, it's a video game. The Matrix Awakens. Actress. Aha. Oh, so they were formerly the Wachowski brothers, and now they're sisters. Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't say anything in the bio about. Yeah, it just talks right, and it just talks about our experience of being. Okay, here it goes. Being a transgender woman, sacrificing her much cherished anonymity. I'm sorry. Uh, Out of a sense of responsibility, Lane is known for to be extremely well read, loves comic books. It touches on that, but it doesn't say that what you were talking about. You know what I mean? Uh, so, um, but then it does say that it does Lily Wachowski sibling and then Julia Wachowski sibling. So, but yeah, I never even knew that they did that. You know what I mean? Um, I didn't even know really who they were until you were talking about them. You know what I mean? Because that's. I mean, they make good movies, so I mean, I have no problem with what they do. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's right, right. All right, so with this movie, I guess they're going. I don't know, either from the Matrix back out of the Matrix, and they've got to redo the whole thing again. I guess you got to take the blue pill, got to take the red pill. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I liked them. I thought they were really good. Uh, uh, yeah, because I hope even since they brought probably most of the actors back from the original um, movie. Well, like Keanu Reeves, and then and the Trinity. Let's see, Naomi. Yeah, well, Jada Pinkett Smith as Naomi. Um, Neil Patrick Harris as the analyst. That's okay. Well, like I said, well, Jada Pinkett Smith, yeah, plays her. Yeah, yeah, it is too because especially with Morpheus, he was sort of like the. Yeah, she was a very strong, woman character. Yeah, I agree with you. I think I'm gonna do the same thing. Christina Ricci, she play she plays Gwen DeVere. I don't know who that is. I don't know who Gwen DeVere will be in the movie, but no, yeah, one, two, three, four, five, just off the top of my head because some of these people I don't know who they are. Via L. Trey Wilson. No, yeah. Let's see. Andrew Caldwell. Okay. Let's see. All right. How are we gonna do this? um. So can I play music or what happens if I go? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And I'll just play the audio. How about that? Um, Let me go to my. Let's see. Uh, no, hush. Um, two, three, music, music. Right here. This one. Okay. All right. Oh, they're like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Ah, there we go. All right, play off. Ah, no, not with that. All right. So here we go. We are going to attempt to play this music, and then we're going to take a break because we're doing this old school way. So tonight, and we'll get into that next about what happened with the whole deal with that, with the board and everything, and I almost exploding like a blueberry, strawberry on a stove, something like that. So don't go away. Social Reload Show will be back in a minute. Bulls Radio Lounge.
And we're back.
Can you hear me? Hold on. Can you hear me now? Oh my goodness. No, I had to mute this to mute that to play this for that and this and zip zabby dop dop, and I'm like, I can't. I didn't know when you were coming back. I was like, whoa, So I was I was trying to keep up with the train. Which is what? All right, so let's see. Where to start? Yeah, where to start? I probably have to start way back when uh, before the COVID started, right? No, no, no. It was way before COVID, and so I had a portable board, and I was going back and forth, and the power cable has those like 5 pin, 6 pin cables on it, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. So it's sort of wiggling, sort of not getting power. So I'm like, oh, great, what's going on? And I'm trying to, I'm freaking out, trying to, figure out how to fix this damn thing. And come to be, the pins broke, and it just doesn't work anymore, So, because I tried to get a replacement power cable, and it still doesn't work. Um, so I have my big board, right, that I use, and I do that for shows and stuff like that. Well, I had everything set up, everything was wired, ready to go. I was hooking up the sound to the board, turn on the board, nothing. And I go, shit. Well, it would turn on, and it would slowly turn off. And I'm like, that's not good. So then I'm like, checking my connectors, and I'm like checking the pack labels. I see a spark in the connector, and I'm like, So I'm like, move the connector a little slower into the connector. Yeah, spark. Yeah, yeah. So, and I think what it is that the the wires have come loose out of the inside of that connector. You know what I mean? So I've got to, you know, unscrew the tiny little screws they put on these things, because everybody has screw sets that fit these type of screws, you know. So I have to take all that apart. Yeah, well, you do. But I have to take all that apart, and then put it back inside the the deal, and hopefully it works. And the doohickey, and hopefully it works. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, this is not good. What am I gonna do? So I'm figuring out. Okay, well, I can maybe rig it to some of my wires that I have, and go do it old school way, and blah blah blah. Or so I'm like, shit. So I unhooked the trailer, and I'm like hauling ass, well, the speed limit, right, to the music place over there, the Guitar Center, you know, and luckily they had a board there that I bought, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Anyways, I I bought it. It was a good board. I liked the board. It was an expensive board, but hooked it up and did what it had to do, and then I took it back. because it was a little bit over my price budget range. You know what I mean? So hopefully, yeah, I got the gig done because I was sweating bullets with this. I was like, the owner, one of the owners of the studio was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, not really." You know, no, because yeah. So I was actually done with when I got there at like 8:45 to location. I was setting thing up, so it was like 10 o'clock, right? That's when the soundboard took a crap, you know. Uh, yeah. So I called my buddy uh, and see if he had one, but he's like, "Oh, it's at my other house." I'm like, "No, I'm not going all the way over there." Yeah, pretty much. So then went to the music store, got, and for some reason, right? I don't know. Well, no, no, but they were sitting there slow as Christmas trying to get over to so I can ask some questions. You know what I mean? And like every guy that I would ask to walk by, I'm like, "Hey, can I, oh, hold on just for a minute. I'll be right, walk on by. Hey, hold on, I'll be right. Oh, okay, all right. You know, and so I'm texting Chewy Rocks and I'm going, listen, I'm about to lose my shit. You know what I mean? And Chewy Rocks is like, what's going on? What's happening? I'm like, there is every freaking person that I sit here and try to talk to, they just blow me off while I'm trying to get this thing done because time's a ticking. You know what I mean? And so with this new board, I've got to make sure all my levels are good. Straighten out all. I mean, just because you're starting from scratch basically. Because the old board, I had everything tuned and ready to go, and it sounds great. Yeah. So then I'm sitting there looking at two or three boards, and 10 minutes turns into 15 minutes. 15 minutes turns into 20 minutes, and I'm sitting there going, "Fuck, God damn it, mother effer." You know what I mean? And I'm like, you guys are like not helping, and everybody that I ask is just blowing me off, you know. So finally the guy comes back and he's just sort of like lounging, walking, you know what I mean? Just coming down to where I was. And I'm like, dude, I could set up a set of lights faster than you could walk over from me, and that's 10 feet. You know what I mean? And I'm like, come on, And I'm doing this all in my head, too. You know what I mean? And I'm like, so the guy's like, so I'm looking for a board. This is what's going on. He's like, oh, yeah, this. And I'm like, is this a good board? So finally got the board, went back to location, set it back up. Everything went smoothly. Compressed everything back down, took the board back, so that way, I'm not below the red line. You know what I mean? So until then, these shows are going to be done sort of like this, how we're doing it now, sort of old school way. There's no other choice. I don't have any other board. So, but if you would like to donate, you can always go to one of the, like Facebook. I think they have a donation thing that you can send money to. What's the other one? I know we have one set up for our channel. I think I haven't touched base with it yet in a while, but there's like a donation thing you can do. Anyways, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out because you know this is old school way we're doing right now. Um, Now, if you would like to donate, if you want to, you can always. I'll. Should I do that? Like, if I should I put a PO box out, like get a PO box and yeah, okay. Because I know we had a thing set up where people can donate money, and I can't remember where it was. Um, that we had it set up too. You know what I mean? Um, um, you okay? Oh wow. But yeah, so I don't remember. Uh, I don't remember what it was that because we had it set up and then I had it there, but I don't know. I'm just not prepared. Yeah, yeah. But anyways, I mean, it just really we just need to like um, try to somehow get like a donation thing started, maybe a GoFundMe. If you I don't know how I don't how do those GoFundMe works? How does that work? A GoFundMe. Oh, okay. Well, I, uh right. Huh. Right, right. Man, maybe we need to do something like OnlyFans or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, go fund yourself. Go fuck yourself. uh, so I don't know something. We got to do something to where we can make some money and you know um, some maybe Square or yeah, because the thing is like we're doing this like the Stone Age. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. It's like I enjoy doing it no matter how we do it. But it's always nice to have a board that way you can handle and stuff like that. With this, I sort of got a mix minus with this and mix minus with that, and hopefully it sounds good coming out the pipe. But diggity dog. So I don't know. I'm just I'm just trying to hold this together with band aids and shoestring. You know. Well, Sonic's trying to hold on while he's panicking. So you know what I mean? Well, because the 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 way the shows are being produced now without a board, he's panicking to try to get the shit. You know, yeah. I mean, he's a tough cookie, but he's trying to get freaking out right now. He's just eating away. So, but here's the thing, though. It's I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do, to be honest with you, because it's like I don't know. It's I'm trying to at least keep this thing afloat, trying to keep this thing going. But nevertheless, I'm gonna I'm gonna get a new power pack and see if I can fix it from there, and then go on from there. You know what I mean? I've had that board for at least about I don't know 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years. Right. Uh. Yeah. Yeah. Um. And that's the whole thing. It's like the more features you get per board, the more channels you get, the higher the price goes. I mean, you know, no, I'm good with an 8 channel board. You know what I mean? Um, what's that? Yeah, 8 channel. You know that because well, no, because you're doing four that are actual live channels, right? And then it's like it would go four, then five, six on one, and then seven, eight on another. You know what I mean? They combined two channels to one on two of the actual channels itself. Does that make sense? So, and that's well, yeah. For stereo channels, you'll be using four. You know, and that's all you really need when you're doing like podcasting or internet interface. You know, I mean, like if you want to do, like that was harsh, huh? So, you know, I don't know what sort of struck you in these. That was a horrible thing. They said that thing had went for 2 miles. You know what I mean? Yeah. Was it? I don't know. That's what the news said. Like 2 miles. Would you live over there? Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I couldn't live over there. Oh, really? Oof. I don't know. I couldn't live there. I would be so scared of a tornado whipping through your house. You know what I mean? And then having like, well, of course, if you live in the West Coast, you have earthquakes. You know, so you're sort of damned if you do and damned if you don't. So I don't know. But that's great. I mean, any survivors from that? Have you heard or? Uh, uh. Let me see. I think I have one in here. I think True Rock sent me a couple of them. Let's see. Let me try to pull this up here. Oh, okay. One of them was. Do you remember the Xbox with the red rings of death? Well, in this article, what's that? Yeah, I had that one time happen to me. You know, it finally reveals what caused the Xbox red ring of death. And bear with me, I'm trying to read because it's very small text. Um, let's see. Microsoft would replace these broken consoles with no cost in line. See, I read this article earlier in the first paragraph, but it didn't say what. What? Let me see. Let me text this to you. Hold on for a minute. Stand by. This is what happens when you don't really prep too much. I just sent that story to you. So, and I know there's a. Looks like there's a video on here too. Just don't want to play the ad. What's with all the ads, by the way? Huh? The ads? No, I know, but I mean, like everything you look at is now ads, ads, ads. Let's see. Just a, I don't know. Looks like some video, some kind. Anyways, but they're talking about the red ring of death, and I'm trying to skim through it to see if I can find what would seem to be the problem with them. A lot of people got really upset with this back in the day. They were, like, uh, let's see, we had about 1.15 billion problem. That's how much it was. It was a $1.15 billion problem. Did you get the text? Oh, okay. Uh, well, it's about a thing, but I don't want to read it all on the air. That's why I was going to kind of like talk about it, and if you want, yeah, yeah, you know, uh, no, really, yeah, I got you. Um, successful employees can laugh at some. See, this is what happens. They don't get to the meat and potatoes. They got to tell a story when they write an article, and I'm like, I don't want to have the story. I just want to know why. You know what I mean? Um, but anyways, I had the red ring of death one time, and I remember you had to call the Xbox company, and you had to sit there and tell them what's going on, and tell them what the serial number. Yeah, where you bought it, what's the receipt number. Yeah, exactly. All your gimmicks and blah blah blah. And it's like, listen, I want to play the Xbox. And they're like, well, sir, you gotta do this, and then you gotta wait for the package to get here, right? And then once that's here, then you gotta sit there and package all it up, make it all nice and neat, and then slap the sticker on it, drop it off at UPS, and then I don't know. Some people have waited for 6 months. Some people waited for, a month to get a refurbished one back. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, because sometimes you get a refurbished one and then you get a red rings of death again. You know. So oh yeah. So it was a big problem. Like it was Xbox had a, and I don't know if it was because the Xbox was new or brand new generations or whatever they are. You know, to where some people said that they did it because they were trying to spy on people. You know, yeah. So that's what they said about the what's that? Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, the general public. Yeah, I mean, there's they could be they could be spying on you though.
Sure, sure they could. You're absolutely right.
I mean, they could be spying, on what you're doing and stuff like that. And
Yeah, but why is that? Why does that matter? Like, who cares what you're? You know what I mean?
right, I get what you're saying. I mean, but
What do they care? Then what they care about is making money on you, and that's not gonna. They already get all they need to know from your social medias and things. You know what I mean?
well,
Like
true.
they
But
don't need to be in your house. They're already in your brain.
if they're looking for something, they'll go in there like when you're not there, and kind of like look through your stuff if they
Oh
need
my
to.
goodness, they could do
Yeah.
that if they really wanted to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you're not, I don't
I
know.
don't know. You're not making a good argument to me.
Why? Just because it's not far fetched?
It is far fetched. I don't think they care. Why would they care? What do they have to gain?
If they were looking for something, right?
Like what?
I
Okay,
don't know. I don't
that's why
know.
warrants exist.
What's that?
That's why warrants exist.
But yeah, but I mean, look at Watergate. You know, look at the not to be a conspiracy theorist guy, but look at all the black op jobs that they do now, where they're blending in more frequently with whatever country they're in, you know, and some of them they go undercover for a couple of years, you know, to live and get information and stuff like that. So it's not far fetched that they might be, spying on any one of us at any point in time. If
I think that's
the
I think it's real far fetched.
yeah, it does sound far fetched. I agree
But
with you, but
yeah,
then again, the government is not what you think the government is. The government is, and I don't know what your stance is about it, but with mine, I don't trust the government. I never have. Um, you know,
interesting.
what's that?
Interesting. What's not to trust though?
Well, because a lot of times when, again, a lot of the stories that I talk about do sound, very conspiracy theorist, right? And I get that. It's not for everybody. Um, but a lot of times when people talk about these stories, you know, human psychology will always say we have to dismiss it, or it's not in reality, or you're crazy, or you have no idea what you're talking about. You know what I mean? But being
I just think that people, I
but
don't know.
but being subjective and listening and thinking, or not thinking, but just being open with a open ear, right? uh as in one story that there's a radio host that I can't think of his name, but they think that he's a very big conspiracy theorist guy. I don't know if we've talked about this or not, but
Are we talking about Joe Rogan?
no, not Joe Rogan. I can't remember his name. Anyways, he goes up to the California area, Northern California, and it's this little small town that has this area that's as tight as security as Area 51. Okay,
Okay.
and it's called Bohemian Grove, right? And this place is basically a place that big leaders from different parts of the world come as well. Um, like the Bushes have a hut or group or whatever. Different Arab, nations have the same thing from what this video shows. And the thing is that when he was talking about this, um, he got like an anonymous call from what he claimed he got an anonymous call, and they told him not to like air the footage, and he was like, no, you're whatever, you're lying, whatever. No, I don't believe you. And they go, really? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, okay, well, I'm looking at you, and you're doing, making a glass of water through your window, and my partner's got his gun triggered on you, and I can see your cat through the window
I
as
just
well.
see your cat.
And because he thought that it was like a prank, oh yeah, whatever. And he goes, no, I see your cat, next to you. And that's when he knew that, holy crap, they're being serious, and that's not something that's going, hey, look, that's part of the gig. That's something sanctioned to shut somebody up.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's not far fetched that something like that can and maybe will happen. You know what I mean? If there's like a very big, and I hate to say this, but there was a movie called 2012, if you remember that.
Mm-mm.
And it's about the end of the world, basically.
Is that right?
So, where like the polar ice caps are going to melt, you know what I mean? The whole world is shifting, But anyways, they were calling these the arcs, and a couple different people from outside the circle, right, knew about it, and they were going to save some of the art pieces and stuff like that, and the government had them eliminated in the movie, mind you, right, to keep
Right.
the secret, of these arcs. So going back full circle in this is that, no, is it plausible? Yeah. Would
No, could it happen? Sure.
Yeah,
Is it
and what
possible? I don't know.
I believe is plausible. I believe that if they really wanted to, they would. If they really wanted to shut you up, they would do it. You know what I mean? Or at least get you scared enough to where it will shut you up, because you know they use psychology a lot to make sure people say, "Hey, look, we're being serious." And if they're describing what you're doing in your kitchen and your animal that's right next to you, what would you say to that if the phone call told you that?
Yeah, it would freak me out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It would freak me out.
Right. Given the guy who was telling, and I don't know his name, but he had his own radio show. I can't think of the guy's name. Talks a lot about conspiracy things about the government and stuff like that. He goes all these rallies, and they don't really like him too much. But anyways, that's who he was telling the story about. But it's about Bohemian Grove, to where these people meet up and they decide on elections and they decide on politics, and then they have this.
You think that kind of stuff happens? Sure.
And then they have the celebration called Cremation of Care, where they all gather around this big giant like fire pit, and in the background it's a big giant owl, and it's the all-knowing owl, and you're supposed to give in the ceremony, if I remember correctly in the video, because it's on YouTube as well, just look up Bohemian Grove. What they do is they sacrifice they don't really do it, but they sacrifice a virgin, right? And there's supposed to be like the people in the audience are supposed to give away their cares. You know what I mean?
No.
It's like
you sacrifice a what?
In this ceremony, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to sort of like give your worries and your cares towards the owl. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So, but what are you're sacrificing somebody? You say
in the ceremony, that's what they do.
They sacrifice somebody.
But they don't actually do that. They just sort of.
They don't actually sacrifice somebody.
No, they just do it. They do it via acting.
But I'm saying they're replicating something that was real.
Well, they're replicating something that's been done for thousands of years.
That makes it okay to kill people?
Alex Jones, that's what it is. Alex Jones. His name is Alex Jones.
It's okay to kill people because it happened for like thousands of years?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't there when they did it. I'm just sort of watching it, what they're talking about. You know what I mean? If they did, kill people, or like, sacrificing them, then, who am I to say? You know what I mean? Of what they want to do. That's not my. I don't know. Would you do something like that? Would you
sacrifice a person?
Well, no. Would you like go to something like that?
To a sacrifice? Or to a reenactment of a sacrifice?
Well, to go sneak into the Bohemian Grove and give all your cares away.
I'm all about giving all my cares away, but I'm not killing anybody.
No.
Why are you saying that like it's a problem? Like, no, bro. I'm not actively out there trying to kill people. No.
What do you mean you're not actively out there? We just went last night, buddy.
Do what?
We just went out last night.
Killing people?
Well, I mean, whatever you want to call it.
I don't want to call it that. I don't want to
I
call it
wasn't
that.
gonna call it that, but I mean, since you
I'm
brought it
glad.
up, I guess.
I wasn't bringing it up. I don't know where we're going.
Man,
I don't know where.
you
I don't know where we've
you
gone.
just spilled the beans and spilled the hatchet all in the same time.
Oh my goodness!
What's
I guess
going on,
so.
dude?
I'm freaking out here. I don't know.
I don't know. You just talked about some
Now I'm
strange
nervous.
shit.
No, yeah, now I'm nervous. I don't know what's happening.
I'm
What
like,
did I sign
I'm
up
like,
for with
dude,
this radio show?
dude, I don't know, man. I'm trying to, get my senses back together. You kind of freaked me out for a minute. I'm like, dude, we don't do that kind of stuff here.
You're the one that said we went out.
We don't. Hey, we don't condone that kind of action here, bud.
Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not cool. I'm sorry to tell you that.
I apologize if you took it that way. That's not what I meant at all.
It's we I mean, if you want to go hunting for an animal, that's one thing, but we don't condone killing people.
Are we hunting animals and people?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here behind the microphone, trying to.
Well, on that note, I think we might need to end this show.
No, I'm good. I'm trying to find that thing, and it's not working. But Alex Jones is the guy who shot the video where he snuck into Bohemian Grove, right? And he filmed all the stuff on there. You know what I mean? And it's just very weird. That's what I'm saying. It's strange because we have these type of places to where high-ranking officials can meet up and decide on the fate of America and decide who's going to be the next president, before they're president.
I think that kind of stuff happens, though. Yeah. And I think that if you don't think that kind of stuff happens, you're a little naive.
You're naive, yeah. But see, I had the same conversation with my dad. And I know I'm running a little bit late here, but I had the same conversation with my dad. He was a very big, he's always been a very big supporter of the military and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I told him the same thing, and he was sort of like, "What, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just look it up, and you'll see it. You'll see that I'm not crazy, but I might be crazy. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet."
Oh, you're definitely crazy, my friend.
Am I?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Bull.
I am Savior.
Matt the Savior. I'm sorry, I'm trying to mix minus on this YouTube deal.
I see you.
So, thank you so much for joining us on our show. We appreciate it. Sorry about the delay. I do apologize. We're trying to get all the kinks
in the weird situation.
What's that?
In the weird music situation, and
yeah, it's just
all the ghetto-ness of our
show. So we're just trying to get all the kinks out. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you guys can hear Matt the Savior as well. But it's been a good show. So
it was fun.
Yeah, and we made it work. That's the good thing. So,
we made it work, brother.
That's
we
right.
made it work.
So, all right, my man. We'll see you soon. Matt the Savior.
Yes, sir.
Do your thing.
Oh, go get you some.
There you go. All right. I am Bull. We'll see you next time. Only on Social Reload Show, Bull's Radio Lounge.